Hello guys, so I hope you're doing good today. So in this video, we're going to take a look at the Mountain Lion 2nd generation. So this is a pretty cool knife. As you can see, it's a pretty big belt knife. So let's look at the features. Alright, so overall, the knife measures 12.45 inches. The blade length is 7.3 inches and the cutting edge length is 6.7 inches. The thickness of the knife here is 0.23 inches or 6 millimeter. So as you can see, it has a high saber grind with a clip point, and it has a secondary convex edge that's mirror polished, super sharp. The knife itself weighs 17.6 ounces, and if you add the sheath, it comes up to 23 ounces. So the steel we went with is Bowler K329, and the HRC, the hardness is 58 to 60. So the knife comes with this very nice ergonomic Coke bottle shape G10 handle. There's going to be several color options. I really like this 3-color G10. You got some OD green, some brown, and some black in there. You got some cutouts here for pinch grip if you want. You get this swell in the middle, so it really fits very well in the hand. And in the pommel, you get this little swell to hold it back. In the back here, you have a recessed lanyard hole, and you can easily put some paracord through there. So as you can see, it has this very generous finger choil, so you can choke up, put your thumb here on the ramp. When you're gonna do finer cuts, feather sticking, etc., you can hold it many different ways. It's quite comfortable. So here's a question that comes up often. So what are the differences between the 1st generation and the 2nd generation Mountain Lion? So the first difference is in the sheath. As you can see here, the construction of the attachment section is a bit different. Here was multiple different kydex and a lot of hardware. This is simplified, very robust. So I think this is definitely an upgrade. So the most notable difference is in the tip section. So as you can see here, in the Gen 2, we have a full swedge that comes to the tip of the knife. Whereas in the 1st generation, we had this half swedge that stopped earlier, having a much thicker tip. So this design is fine, but really I much prefer this finer tip. It's still robust, very robust. We'll do some testing on that, but it definitely pierces much better. All right, so let's do some sharpness testing. I've been using this knife a lot. Still super sharp. No problem at all. So let's do a bit of cutting here. So we got some paracord, easy. Got some of this nylon rope for the weed eater. Cuts through like butter. Got some natural cordage here. Often pretty tough to cut. It goes through easy. And I got this thicker line here. So let's take a look at that. Easy. So definitely has very nice geometry at the edge. And this convex definitely helps to be a pretty good slicer. All right, so let's do some testing outdoors. So as you can see here, it's a very good knife for battoning. We baton through multiple pieces of hardwood, and it goes through pretty easily. We can owe that to the combination of the high saber grind and the thickness of the knife. So it does a very good job at splitting wood. So because of the versatile handle construction, you can definitely choke up on the knife and use that finger choil for more control. So the balance will be more neutral at that point. And you can use that knife to make some very nice and fine feather sticks that you can light up for your fire. So the thickness behind the edge is around 0.6 to 0.7 millimeters, so it's still robust. But at the same time, because of the convex edge, it really bites deep in the wood. So another benefit of the Gen 2 Mountain Lion is that the tip is sharper, pointier, so you can definitely use it to drill wood if you're going to prepare a bow drill, etc. So the knife has a nice belly up front, so you can choke up on the blade. So if you want to do some finer work or scrape some tinder, that's definitely going to work out for you. Mountain Lion also has a very sharp 90-degree spine. As you can see, very easy to scrape a ferro rod and get a fire going. So Worktuff gear really knows how to put a very sharp spot on the knives. As you can see here, you get a really huge shower of sparks. One feature that I find is very important in the outdoors is the ability to chop. So say you're on a trail and there's a tree that's fallen, you want to be able to chop off the branches, etc. Or maybe you need to chop off a branch, for your next fire. And so we can definitely see here that the mountain lion chops extremely well for its size. As I mentioned, it's a 7.5 inch blade, but if I compare it to other knives of that size, I think it definitely chops way above its size category. So the tip on the Generation 2 mountain lion is obviously way pointier than the first generation. As you can see, it really goes in the wood easily. So it can, if necessary, be used as a defensive tool. But that tip is still robust enough. As you can see, I'm torquing it pretty heavily through this wood. And obviously it didn't deform or break in any way. So in conclusion, what can we say about the Generation 2 mountain lion? So it's pretty awesome, mid-sized, maybe a bit larger than mid-sized belt knife, easy to carry. It's not too heavy, but still has a lot of capability. As you can see, you can do some chopping. Obviously, it's not going to chop as well as a bigger knife like the Kodiak, but it holds its own for sure. The geometry is very good for battoning as well, but you can use the choil choke up, makes the balance more neutral, and you can definitely do some smaller tasks with it, food prep or woods prep, all sorts of tasks. So definitely this is a great knife for all sorts of outdoors activity, a survival knife, but just a regular camping knife. You can easily carry it on your belt when you're going hiking. So I think it's really a good jack of all trades. It's a great all-around knife. So the Generation 2 mountain lion is going to drop on the Worktuff Gear website on the 25th of October at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. So if you're interested, you could go check it out. I'm going to put a link in the description below when it becomes available. And so if you're interested, there's going to be several options. Definitely, I know that there's going to be this handle and the satin finish. There's also going to be a OD green with liner and maybe some other finishes that Viclin is going to come up with. All right, thanks for watching.